My nose is hurting right now. Ah. Literally, it's dangerous.
I'm in a bad mood right now, so I'm not gonna pretend to be hyped.
Gabriel Gage.
You know, I've heard that name, and I need to dig into that a little deeper.
Nova might actually be in some deep doo-doo at this point. We got some notorious figures online who are known for going out into the streets, going into the chat rooms, flirting with all the strange men over the internet, and now they've set their eyes onto Nova. That includes Chris Hansen, and that includes Jidion. So we'll get into the specifics a little bit later, but you know, Nova has been moping and crying and complaining for so long. He's trying to prove that he's this alpha male, sigma male, anti-ball crushing facility employee who's going to go out in his front yard in his Deadpool pajama pants, greasy ass sweaty shirt that he's worn for the past 2 weeks, and he's gonna flex on the haters. And I gotta admit, all right, he's proven it to me. He's taken a step up, and my own personal insecurities are flowing, just filling up my insides because I'm witnessing a god among men. Now, if you want to get into the specifics as to where this, you know, bravado might be showing up from, well, Nova tried to do a nice little April Fool's joke, and it sorry, I gotta refocus. It definitely tricked me. I was fooled for sure. He's trying to prove that, or he was trying to do a little jokesy that the weight loss was all fake, guys. Check out this epic piece of comedy right here.
Happy April 1st, motherfucker! April Fools, y'all, I tricked you. I actually did lose some weight. Let's do a monthly weigh-in.
Okay, I've got my phone in a peculiar spot right now. I just wanted to show you that I'm not actually lying. I set up my phone in a very, very peculiar spot. So, because if I put the scale, because if I hold my phone while I'm standing on the scale, it won't be accurate, so.
Now I'm going to try and break this down to try and understand truly what he's getting at. He literally talked for like a minute and a half during this video where he's like, my camera was in a peculiar position, that's why I angled it the way I did. Which makes me think maybe he was buck-ass naked, his ball sack was hanging down far below. You know, he took a break from South Park to weigh himself in the bathroom. So, yeah, I understand, Nova. It's all starting to come together. It's all starting to piece together truly once and for all. Now, there's a non-zero chance that he has seen my videos of critiquing his, you know, weigh-ins, his weight loss type of content, and, you know, I had gotten some joy. I was a bit giddy every now and then when I could zoom in on his disgusting, just rotting toes that haven't been washed in eons. I mean, I guess I haven't really talked about this previously, but when he was doing these weight loss reviews and he showed off his mangled, dirty feet, he was just coming off the back of his shower saga. So clearly he wasn't even really showering himself. Nobody had taught him how to bathe correctly. He would just stand there looking at the camera as water flushed over his face, completely avoiding his feet at the bottom. And we know he wasn't getting a loofah and scrubbing down there. He was just getting a toy out of his mom's dresser. So that's a reality that we had to witness, we had to live with. And in particular, you know, I mentioned in the previous video talking about how Nova's insecurities, they're starting to mount a little bit, right? You know, mine are starting to flow in because I'm witnessing a god among men right in front of my very eyes. But for Nova in particular, he is starting to embrace the fact that everybody has realized that he's balding and he's 21 years old, and the baseball caps that he's been throwing on in all of his videos are a ploy in order to, you know, try and lead everybody astray. But it's kind of like throwing on a unique piece of clothing that you never are witnessed wearing in the past, and everybody's like, what's going on here? What are you trying to hide there, buddy? And it's also just like, he's dressed up like some sort of undercover superhero in a comic book. Like, I wonder who the bald chome could be in this particular video. You guys got any hints? You got any ideas? Well, he's gone back to doing cameos more frequently. We've seen a couple of them pop up here, and in particular, an interesting one is Nova trying to reassure a nice little fan buddy out there that, hey, going bald when you're 20 years old, not that bad.
I wanted to let you know that there's nothing wrong with balding at 21 years of age. Unfortunately, I'm going through the same thing. So, hopefully we'll be able to find some treatment for it soon. There are some things to help with that. Anyways, your friends still love you regardless of how far back that shit keeps receding. All the best.
You know, pretty soon we might be getting the Nova travels to Turkey to get hair implant arc, you know, and with everything going on in the Middle East over there, maybe we'll get Nova trapped inside bunker inside Istanbul or something like that. Maybe we'll get that arc as well. That'd be a pretty great, you know, side plot arc that we can get out of Nova. But, you know, who knows what Nova's genetic history is like? Who knows what his, you know, I don't know exactly where hair traits come from as a man with, you know, luscious locks of hair that fly through the wind, not leaving a bald spot to be, you know, perceived upon by a flying bird overhead. I can't really relate to Nova too much, and also I'm pretty sure that balding, unless you have some like severe family history type of thing, in your early 20s is a big red flag, like a big red flag, like something's going on, like whether it be you have some like immune issue or like clearly his diet and his lifestyle are really, really poor. He didn't bathe himself for months at a time. He doesn't clean up his house. It's covered in garbage and junk, and he obviously eats garbage and junk. So like, those all compounded in, you know, there's other things like, you know, I did a very brief Google AI research into this topic in order to really, you know, become an expert when I'm discussing these things to the masses. But, you know, like low testosterone can play into it as well. And I wouldn't say that Nova probably has the highest testosterone in the entire world, so all these things compounded are resulting into the effects that we see before us today. And you know, I'm interested in it. Maybe we'll get like a crazy horseshoe bald guy with long dreads on the outside. That'd be epic. That'd be very cool. You can start throwing a toupee on top, something like that. I'm looking forward to that arc. But in particular, you know, Nova has started to do all these different cameos, and they're just terrible, dude. They're so bad. For a guy that cries and complains and tries to get people to feed him money constantly, you would think that you could put a little bit more effort into these videos in particular. I even saw recently that one of Nova's TikToks he did for somebody, he literally didn't mention whatever the prompt was, got a really low star rating, and tried to beg them to make another video for them. It's like, these videos take like a minute, 2 minutes at most in order to make for somebody, and you can't even get it right on the first try. Like, yeah, buckle up, buckaroo.
Adrian, I wanted to wish you a happy 19th birthday, and I hope you had an amazing one, because I heard that your friend Robin was a little bit late, but still wanted me to send this message to you. Also, it is very windy right now, so sorry if it sounds a little muffled. Okay, Adrian, I'm sorry if I sound off. I'm sick, and I'm extremely pissed off, but... So, I'm just gonna get quick and straight to the point. I don't want to fucking sour y'all's mood, so... Oh, fuck, I'm about to cry. Anyways, thank you both for being fans. I'm just gonna go ahead and go now.
Like, let's just be so dead ass right now. if he was like some sort of meta irony comic, this would be the greatest content in the entire world. You're getting cameos of him crying on camera, not even really acknowledging you, not acknowledging what's making him cry, while we can probably figure it out based on a litany of different hints that we've been getting. He's balding, he's dirty, his house is a mess, all these predator catchers are coming out of the blue to try and take him down, all the trolls, myself included, wicked, horrible people he's making death notes trying to get rid of us. You know, he's probably casting different spells and creating voodoo dolls. Now that's a series I would watch. Nova, start making voodoo dolls of all the people that you absolutely despise. Instead of doing these lame ass, you know, walkout WWE intros in your front yard, you know, elbow drop bloodspeth, you know, voodoo doll, and I'd tune into that. Hell yeah, brother, that's something I can really get behind. Let's tune into something more, you know, invigorating for yourself, because at the end of the day, even when you acknowledge that what you're making is pure garbage, it's absolute trash, who knows if I'll be able to, you know, are you guys going to be able to hear this? I'm in a wind vacuum right now. Who gives a shit? I'll send it to him anyway. You know, you finally have earned a reward for yourself. And I know, guys, I know you all out there might be saying, reward? Nova's entire life is trying to fulfill these random rewards that he gives himself, whether it be not looking for a job, not cleaning up, not bathing, not, you know, trying to change any of your deplorable ways. No. He has to fill that up with toys and, you know, Pokemon cards and fast food and words of affirmation from random, you know, Discord kittens. Well, it's gonna get so much worse because we've upgraded our technology, baby. And somehow Nova, who claims he didn't have money to replace his bike in order to do DoorDash deliveries, now all of a sudden has hundreds of dollars to buy a new MacBook. How would that happen?
I just got my hands on the all-new MacBook Neo, and today I'm going to do an unboxing of it. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing the Nova Cord vest, that's right, this is a business expense. Oh, this thing looks absolutely amazing. I got this in the indigo color because my Target only had the blush version, and this is the color that I wanted. Opening it up. The Apple Chime! Oh my god, it turned on right out of the box! Holy fuck! I'm sorry, I am so used to Windows, I'm so used to Android. I am just impressed by the clean and polished look of Apple devices.
You know, Nova, I really wish I could be impressed by the clean and put together look of your house or of yourself in general, but we don't get to witness that luxury whenever you post a video online. This entire review is just filled with so much soy. You know, as a personal Apple enjoyer himself, but doesn't really gush over them like the masses do. Yeah, I'm counterculture, baby. That's right, I'm taking a stand. But listening to the chime of an Apple product turning on, and you're like, oh my god, guys, did you hear that? Did you hear the chime turn on? Too much soy. The soy is overflowing throughout this entire video, and it's just like every single video that he puts out just gives me ideas of new arcs that Nova might be going down. Please get audited. Please get audited. This would be the greatest story ever. Oh, you got a MacBook Aero or whatever this is called, and we don't see you making any bracelets. Is that what you say you do? Yeah, we don't see any of that. There's just 50 different Discord channels with underage minors inside of them. That's peculiar. You can't be writing that off, Nova. Actually, let's put your hands behind your back. Why don't you have a seat right here? Why don't you do that for us, buddy? Why don't you put your hands where we can see them, all right? What's that pink item that you're holding in your hand? Whoa. What's this collection of South Park DVDs that we see in the corner? Buddy, we got the ultimate gooner. We got to get him off the streets. We got to avoid any incidents that might come from this. So, Nova, please try and write this off on your taxes. I would love that. As a professional tax accountant myself, this is full legal financial advice, TM underscore, you know, in the little asterisk at the bottom of the screen. No, I'm not actually any of those things, but please do it. It would be so funny. That's my personal opinion. But, you know, besides that, let's focus on what he might actually be interested in, because now that he has this new MacBook, he's got to start stunting for the ladies.
Let's try the new Huntrix meal from McDonald's. Also, new McDonald's in my area, you juked me out of my large fry and gave me a medium instead. Screw you.
And then we just shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty.
And finally, I know it's not part of the meal, but it's new. We got the Derpy McFlurry. Also, McDonald's, can you explain why the mini is smaller, but it's $1.50 more than the regular? Can you explain that?
Explain that, McDonald's. You know, I'm not really interested in the price discrepancies that you might be running into, Nova. I'm more curious by the fact that you thought it was a good idea to be shirtless reviewing a kid-centric McDonald's Happy Meal. That's what I'm more interested in. You know, little Timmy's gonna hop on and say, wow, I'm really into K-pop Demon Hunters. I see McDonald's has something new. Let's see who's doing a review on it online. Oh, it's the shirtless man. Here's, hello, shirtless man. Ooh, shake your booty. Yeah, hell yeah. We're getting Lion Maker version 2.0 over here. This is very cool, Nova. This is very on brand. And once again, it's like, it's so hard for me to detach myself to the reality that Nova's not like a 17-year-old kid who's still in high school. This is a full-grown man that's over here reviewing K-pop Demon Hunters Happy Meals. You know, like, that you are not within that targeted range. And let alone the fact, you know, I understand your entire brand is trying to review the latest, hottest, newest fast food item that's out there. Okay, that's one thing. Why are we shirtless? Why are we throwing on our Novacord vest, just exposing our fucking side boobs and our chest hair, and we're talking about, oh yeah, I hope I get my hottest K-pop wife. Oh, I hope she shows up. I don't really know the plot of the story. I don't know how old the main characters are, so fill me in down below if you're a big K-pop Demon Hunter fan. If you're in the Discords with Nova chatting about these kid movies, let me know how old these characters are before Nova starts gushing all over them. But what I do know, what I do understand is that the Mario movie that just came out recently, now that's targeted to kids, right? I saw a bunch of millennials online complaining that the story of the Mario movie was too stupid or too, you know, it was too colorful, it was too this, that, and the other. It's like, okay, that's a kid's movie. It's Mario. It's for 4-year-olds, right? Well, don't worry, because at your local movie theater, you might just see Nova sitting by himself, this time wearing a shirt, luckily, but a hat and all, talking about how much he loved the latest kids movie.
Alrighty, everyone, I just got done finished watching this new Super Mario Galaxy movie. And for those of you wondering, yes, the Novacord vest was worn throughout the entire movie.
Now, I don't know why in particular he decided to bring up the Novacord vest. Maybe it's because he just did a review of him shirtless in it. So maybe he did show up to the movie theater, take off all of his clothes, throw the vest back on, and say, hello, little Timmy, are you excited to watch your Mario movie? Oh, where'd your mom go? She disappeared? Well, why don't you download this app called Discord and join my server? You know, we can be best friends. Let's hang out together. Doesn't that sound very epic, very cool? It, you know, I'm getting a bit more and more concerned as these videos mount and Nova posts more and more these like kid-centric, you know, idealizing of his own personal life. Maybe it's his belief that he's some sort of anime Nintendo character, something or another. Maybe he thinks that the less clothes he wears, maybe we'll get some AI filters in the future and it'll make him look like, you know, He-Man or something or other. I don't really know. I don't know what his end objective is, but myself, along with several other people online, have been getting very concerned with the past that he's moving. Now, obviously, we talked about his Discords within the past couple months, and it's starting to bring the attention of more prominent figures, and Nova's not having a very good time with the realization that people don't really view him in a very favorable light.
Gabriel Gage, he's a notorious online predator. No, but...
You know, I've heard that name, and I need to dig into that a little deeper, but that's come my way a few times. I promise you I'll take a look at it.
Hey, Nova, man. I know, like, you're scared that I'm on your grass and I'm looking for you, bro. I'm not, man. Genuinely. I just want to have a conversation. We can talk off stream, bro.
Got a flash drive, a 128 gigabyte flash drive with every single screenshot of being harassed.
So our nice little McDonald's Happy Meal Super Mario kids movie watching boy over here is really melting down. He's having a rough time dealing with all of this. He even put out several different mental health posts talking about how it's just so difficult being him. He feels like he's gonna crack and fall apart and break down at every single moment because of all the people that are flowing in trying to make crazy allegations. If you recall at the beginning of this video, go back and watch the intro if you forgot. Well, there's that clip of him dancing where he says he wants to, prove all the haters wrong and he's going to bring to light the truth about himself or whatever. Well, the truth about yourself isn't very endearing, buddy. Like, the veneer of yourself has disappeared and the only people in your corner are some of the most depraved people out there, so, or naive at the very least. So we're stuck with, Jidion showing up, Chris Hansen showing up. Now, I know this is like Chris Hansen as like the Shaq on the Celtics type of meme. We're not getting prime Chris Hansen, but just the pure idea that somehow you've reached this point in your life that any form of Chris Hansen is starting to at least glance into your direction should be alarming. And Jidion actually followed through and at least did some introductory, exploratory work towards Nova. Now, I'm going to be 100% frank, maybe this will get some flack from the comment section, but this is one of the worst reactors I've ever seen. He basically reacts to Turkey Tom's video and adds in however many clips I have here. Now, he does do a minor interview with Bloodspeth at the end, sort of going over some of the allegations that have arisen in the past couple months and years, I guess, in more broad terms, but he doesn't really give too many insights. Maybe he's playing his cards close to his hand. Maybe he's actually going to invest in this. And one of the more interesting aspects of this is that even before all this came to light, Nova actually wanted to become one of Jidion's like fake miners that interacts with the predators, whatever that's called, the bait or whatever, and never got a response. But now that all of this is sort of building up to Jidion doing an investigation into Nova, and now he's sending out messages of, hey, let's hang out, let's talk to each other, let's reveal some information to me. It's not looking too good.
Bro, every person we've caught that's been into diapers, they're also into CP. Like, there is definitely a correlation between the two. For sure. Without a shadow of a doubt. I done seen it all. I done seen it all. Bro got an iced out binky? Like, chat, man, don't get me wrong. Like, this dude was bad, man. But you guys gotta realize, bro, your boy's desensitized. Like, I am pretty desensitized. So it's like, you guys are saying, like, this is crazy. Yep, my guy who runs my Discord, he found him on there. Yep, he did apply. This is 100% legit.
So we'll see if this arc actually, continues on, carries on into an actual investigation. My assumption or my guess is not really, because I don't really know, like, outside of interacting with Nova in a Discord, how else are you getting in contact with him? To my knowledge, maybe I'm mistaken, he hasn't really used like phone chat or Twitter DMs or anything like that might be easier to, lay a trap for him to catch. Discord, I feel like you can sort of obscure yourself a little bit more. Jidion was even talking throughout this live stream that, some of the things that he's doing are probably morally and maybe even legally reprehensible to some degree, but at least some of the things that we've gotten out of it, maybe not easily prosecutable. Whether or not you think that's right doesn't really matter. What I'm more interested in, because I don't really know anything about Jidion's investigative work or anything like that. I hope that he's prosecuted people that need to be prosecuted. I hope that's true, because you always see these air quote predator catchers online that at the end of the day, they give some, street justice, if you want to call it that, whether it be like humiliating them or punching them or throwing them into a wall or whatever it is. But the person doesn't actually end up getting arrested, which should be the ultimate goal, because you need to get some actual justice out of this situation. So, and at the very least, maybe it's Nova gets online suspensions or whatever, can't be posting on public platforms, can't be in publicly messaging apps or anything like that. Maybe that's the goal that you should shoot for if you can't get an actual prosecution out of it. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a financial advisor for Nova. Obviously, I've been doing my tax work for him, so that's my only concern, but I would throw it out there. So we'll see exactly where this moves forward into, but we're knocking on the door of some very interesting things if they actually transpire, but we'll see. We'll see exactly where this goes. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed. Till next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.